Ladies and gentlemen, this right here is an M1 MacBook Pro. It's the latest and greatest 13-inch MacBook Pro that Apple offers with Apple's brand new M1 chip instead of an Intel chip. So this device, which was announced in November and I got in January, you would think it would function very well. I mean, it's a brand new laptop, and this particular configuration of it is not exactly cheap either. I actually got a 1 terabyte solid state storage and 16 gigabyte of RAM version of this computer, so it's all spec'd out. You can only go up a little bit more in storage to 2 terabytes if you want, but basically my particular version right here will set you back over $2,000. So once again, you would think it would work great. You wouldn't think it would break, but guys, well, do I have a story for you? I actually just went 2 whole weeks without this device working whatsoever, because guess where it was? At an Apple repair center being fixed because this laptop bricked itself, meaning that it would not turn on whatsoever. It was literally as useful as a $2,000 beautiful aluminum brick. Anyway, guys, my name is Shane. Welcome to the Where I Notice Technology YouTube channel. If you're new here, definitely be sure to subscribe for more awesome technology videos just like this one. I do phone unboxings, laptop unboxings, obviously headphone unboxings, and stuff like that. So definitely subscribe if you're new here. But today we're going to be talking about my excruciating 2-week repair journey with Apple on this brand new $2,000 device. So let's jump right into it. So this whole fiasco started very late on a Wednesday night, a little over 2 weeks ago now at the time of filming this video. Basically, I actually had 2 exams the next day, so I was up very late as a hard-working Vanderbilt student studying and preparing for those exams, and obviously my computer was right there with me. So basically what I noticed is I usually charge my computer with, look at this USB-C hub, because I always like to use my computer with this beautiful monitor right here for it, which basically if you want to plug an HDMI monitor into this MacBook Pro, it doesn't have any HDMI ports on it, so you have to use a USB-C hub. So yeah, just out of convenience, because I already have this plugged into the computer, I like to charge through the power delivery USB-C port right there. So I went to do that night, and I noticed, that's strange. When I was plugging the USB-C charger into this hub right here, I was noticing that the MacBook Pro was not being charged, which, I mean, that's odd. It always worked fine for the previous, I don't know, 2 months that I've had this computer. So I unplug it and plug it back in a number of times, and then, oh, it starts working again. No big deal. But little did I know it would become a big deal, because later on in the night, I believe it was about 2 in the morning, I was about to go to bed because I was a tired college student who had been studying for all these exams. So I think to myself, okay, well, I should unplug my MacBook Pro. I don't want to charge it overnight because now it's already been charged. So I go to unplug it, and I unplug the cable from the actual adapter that's plugged in the computer, and boom, just like that, my MacBook Pro screen goes black and it will not turn on. It was bricked. For no reason. And this right here, folks, begins the difficult journey. So I start chatting up Apple support. Again, it's 2 in the morning. I'm trying to go to bed, and they say they will send out a box for me to ship my computer to Apple, which is what I do, because obviously the support can't help me. We can't get it to turn on because the device has been bricked. So I send it to Apple after the box gets here. So once my computer starts arriving at Apple, I start checking in with them every once in a while, sometimes every day, sometimes not, to see if they figured out what's wrong with it, or if I can get some estimate of when I can get this computer back, because again, I mean, I spent all this money on my computer. I want to be able to use it, and I also need to be able to use it. So yeah, every time I did that, unfortunately, Apple support, they couldn't give me a time estimate of when I would get the computer back, until eventually when I finally did get it back, again, 2 weeks later. It would have been nice to know earlier that this would have been a 2-week process. So yeah, apparently the big delay was because they were waiting on some parts, or a part for my computer that they did not have at the repair center, so they needed to get that shipped in. And now, oh boy, with this computer back, I got a nice little paper invoice of what they did to the computer and all the parts they changed. And let me tell you, now I can see why might have taken them so long because they actually needed to change a lot of parts, which is really adds to my frustration. So let me read the part list off to you guys. Okay, so AppleCare Service Product Repair Summary. So first part that they replaced is the logic board for the M1 8-core 16GB 1TB MacBook Pro M1 that I have right here. And I was actually talking to Apple support over the phone today to try to speak more about this issue now that I've got the computer back. And basically they were saying how the logic board actually contains, like it says right there, the GPU, the CPU, the SSD, the RAM. So a lot of important things right there. That's definitely an important part. And I believe earlier before I got the computer back, they said the part that they were waiting on, or at least one of them, was the logic board. So yeah, that's definitely interesting. Another part too is the display assembly space gray. It says because of wake function issue. Yes, this computer would not turn on. Another thing too is they actually had to replace the Touch ID on this computer. I would have never thought that, I guess, the computer becoming bricked by, I guess, charging, that's my guess as to how it became bricked, would affect the Touch ID, but I guess so. They had to replace that. The trackpad was also affected. They had to put a new trackpad in this computer. And lastly, the I/O port, and it said no power, dead unit. So, yeah, as you can see, this really screwed up my computer. Whatever happened to it that night when it was charging, it really got messed up. Pretty much a lot of the internals of this computer were clearly just fried, which is just crazy. I mean, this is, once again, a brand new laptop, folks. I mean, it's not even 2 months old, and all of those parts had issues. Man. But don't worry, folks. Now, the drama continues. The other thing, too, that I noticed when I got this computer back is all my data was wiped. The computer was completely reset, and it also notes this on this invoice summary, whatever you want to call it right here. It says, we clean installed the latest macOS version verified on your product. So, yes, they totally wiped my computer, even though I did not get a chance to take any data off of it before I sent it to Apple because the computer was bricked. It would not turn on. I could not take any data off of it. And I actually told Apple support when I was chatting with them that fateful late Wednesday night that I could not get the data off the computer. Please don't wipe it, because they said, please back up your data. We might have to wipe it. And I mean, yeah, a lot of my upsetness comes from, okay, if you're going to wipe my data and have to replace all these different parts in this brand new computer, maybe instead of making me wait 2 weeks to get this repair back when I spent literally over $2,000 on this device and need it, maybe why not just send me out a brand new one in less time? Because I was looking and they have this in stock at the Apple Store. I could get this delivered to me like much quicker, like in a couple days. At one point, I think it was even like within 2 hours. Especially too, I actually looked at the software version on my MacBook Pro right here. It is macOS 11.1, which is not the latest version of macOS. So they said, oh, well, we actually reinstalled the latest version of macOS. No, you didn't. This isn't the latest version. The latest is like, let me actually see, because it's been asking me to update the software on this. I still have to do that, even though they wiped it, which again, I'm really upset about. So yeah, right here it says macOS Big Sur 11.2.3 is available for this computer, and again, this device has macOS 11.1 on it. So there you go. So yeah, guys, as I've been expressing, this has been an extremely frustrating experience for me. It's just pretty unacceptable that a brand new laptop of this price would break this soon, and then to have to deal with waiting 2 weeks to be able to use it again and having your data wiped. Again, it's just unacceptable. Apple should have sent out, in my opinion, a brand new replacement immediately when this happened, because again, it's a brand new laptop. So anyway, earlier today, I actually called Apple support once again to speak about my repair with them. After now that I've seen the data has been wiped, this is the first time I noticed that and brought that up to them. And after explaining the situation like I did for you guys right here, they finally agreed to help me out a little. And they said, as a goodwill gesture, they are actually going to send me a free hard drive, which is pretty cool, from the Apple Store. So the particular model they're going to be sending me, they actually let me pick, which was once again very nice of them, is the LaCie 1TB external SSD, and the price of that hard drive is actually kind of pricey. It's about $220 on the Apple Store, which I know what you're thinking, and it's what I'm thinking too. Well, for a $2,000 computer and all this trouble they caused you, yes, they should be at least giving you, what, $200 back, which is essentially what they're doing by giving me that for free, which is what, 10%? So yes, it's not crazy or out of this world, but for Apple to be giving you something worth hundreds of dollars for free, that's how you know that they know that, well, they definitely screwed up in this case because, again, this is the first time out of all the times I've called the Apple support, and I've spoken to them many times throughout the repair process just because I wanted to know, like, what the deal was with my computer, when I would be getting it back. This was the first time they were actually helpful and finally did something nice for me, and I think it's because of that whole issue with them wiping my data off this computer. I think that's where they know that they crossed the line, and yeah, that was definitely very frustrating for me. So yeah, thank you for that, Apple, but I mean, still, it was still a very frustrating experience. Also, now addressing this USB-C hub right here that I've been using, I actually unboxed this guy on the channel. I'll put a link down to that in the description if you guys want to watch that, but this is basically Satechi's USB-C hub that they sell at the Apple Store. So in theory, I mean, it should be a good USB-C hub, or else why would they sell it at the Apple Store? And it cost me about $65. So also today when I was on the phone with Apple support, I asked for a refund on this just because I don't really know what the whole issue is, but I just don't want to take a chance of plugging this into my MacBook Pro now that I've got it fixed, because I can't go another 2 weeks without this computer. I mean, I will lose my mind. So if you total it up, that's almost $300 worth of goodness that Apple gave me in return for this horrible repair experience. So that was definitely very nice of them. So once again, thank you very much for that, Apple. But again, that definitely doesn't take away how bad that repair experience was for me. I mean, 2 whole weeks without my over $2,000 computer, that's brand new. It was definitely very bad. And unfortunately, too, another thing, although in my mind, I think it was definitely something with charging this computer and the USB-C hub that caused it to be bricked, because that's just what was happening before it became bricked. Apple support, when I've asked them now several times, well, do you know what caused this? They say they don't know. But today when I asked that, they said they'll reach out to the engineering team actually to see if they can give me a reason, and they scheduled a call back for next week. So I don't know, maybe they'll give me a definitive reason, but I mean, in my mind, I really think it had something to do with charging through the USB-C hub for this computer. And one big reason why I think that is what caused this, in addition to me just seeing that and observing, I actually read there are a bunch of different news articles talking about Apple putting out a software update that apparently addresses USB-C hubs frying computers when you charge through them. So now if you look over here, I actually have one of those articles from The Verge right behind me, and as you'll notice, they specifically have a screenshot of this software update where Apple says, and I quote, macOS Big Sur 11.2.2 prevents MacBook Pro 2019 or later and MacBook Air 2020 or later models from incurring damage when they are connected to certain third-party, non-compliant powered USB-C hubs and docks. And now I will say, in reaction to that, this, this little USB-C hub that I've been using, I don't know how it could be non-compliant. They sell it at the Apple Store. So I really don't know. Would that software update have saved my computer? Maybe, but I mean, I can't imagine how this could be a non-compliant USB-C hub when they literally sell it at the Apple Store. I mean, that's why I bought it, because it was at the Apple Store. So yeah, folks, that has been my absolutely horrible repair experience with the M1 MacBook Pro. So yes, my repair was free. Yes, now Apple will send me that nice 1 terabyte SSD from LaCie from the Apple Store, which is great. And yes, I'm getting a refund for this USB-C hub right here, which I will probably honestly go throw away after this video, because, like, again, I'm too scared to use it with my computer, and I already have a new one right here. But yeah, even still, that was just really horrible not having this expensive computer for 2 weeks, and I just can't say that enough how much that stinks. So thankfully I did keep my old MacBook Pro, the early 2015 model, which is actually the device that I've been doing my schoolwork on for the past 2 weeks. So yeah, I'm definitely thankful I didn't get rid of that, and I still had a backup computer, or I would have been definitely very screwed, especially considering, once again, the night this computer broke, the following day I had 2 exams. So I would have been in a pretty bad situation if I didn't have a computer on that day. Anyway, folks, definitely let me know down in the comments what you guys think of my brand new M1 MacBook Pro getting bricked, not being able to turn on, and just this whole experience. Definitely let me know what you guys think. I do read all the comments, by the way. And yeah, at the moment, I'm just happy my computer's now working. I have it back. Also, if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely be sure to smash that subscribe button and subscribe to the Where Notice Technology YouTube channel for more awesome technology videos just like this. After all, I do love all my subscribers. So if you want my love, you know what to do. Smash the subscribe button and I'll love you. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching and thank you so much for subscribing. Where Notice out with my previously bricked M1 MacBook Pro. I love you, little guy. You better not let that happen again, okay?